After midlife, something quiet but profound begins to happen inside the human brain. Most people never notice it, because it does not arrive with pain, it does not arrive with noise, it arrives as stillness. And because our culture worships speed, urgency, reaction, and constant stimulation, stillness is often mistaken for decline. That misunderstanding has cost millions of people their confidence, especially after the age of 50. But here is the truth. Calm after midlife is not weakness. It is not loss. It is not slowing down. It is a biological shift, a neurological reorganization, a strategic upgrade. If you are over 50 and you feel less reactive, less impulsive, less interested in chaos, less driven by urgency, nothing is wrong with your brain. Your brain is entering a different mode of intelligence, and almost no one explains this clearly. Before we go further, welcome to Smart Brain Senior. This channel exists to protect your mental strength, clarity, and dignity as you age. If you value serious science-based understanding of the brain after 50, subscribe now, because what you learn here will change how you see yourself. Now let us begin. For most of your life, your brain was optimized for speed, quick decisions, fast reactions, rapid learning under pressure. This mode is essential in youth. It helps you survive, compete, adapt, and build. But it comes with a cost. Speed requires stress. Stress requires constant activation of survival circuits. That includes cortisol, adrenaline, and rapid emotional signaling. In youth, the brain tolerates this. In midlife, it no longer does. Not because it is weaker, but because it has learned something critical. That constant activation is inefficient. After midlife, the brain begins to prioritize stability over speed, accuracy over volume, meaning over stimulation. This is not philosophy. This is neuroscience. As we age, the balance between the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex changes. The limbic system is the emotional reactive center. It drives fear, urgency, impulsive reactions. The prefrontal cortex is the regulator. It filters emotions. It evaluates consequences. It slows things down. In younger brains, the limbic system often dominates. Emotion arrives first. Control comes later. After midlife, the prefrontal cortex gains influence. Not by becoming louder, but by becoming more efficient. This is why older adults often report they feel less shaken by things that once disturbed them. They pause before reacting. They observe rather than explode. Again, this is not emotional numbness. It is emotional regulation. Calm is the visible surface of this internal shift. And here is the critical point. Calm allows deeper cognition. When the brain is calm, it uses less energy on threat detection, less energy on emotional noise, less energy on impulsive reactions. That energy is redirected toward pattern recognition, toward long-range thinking, toward insight, toward judgment. This is why experienced professionals often outperform younger, faster thinkers in complex situations. Not because they think faster, but because they think cleaner. Clean thinking requires calm. This is why panic destroys decision-making. This is why stress impairs memory. This is why urgency leads to errors. After midlife, the brain becomes increasingly intolerant of these states. It is not becoming fragile. It is becoming selective. Your brain is saying, I will no longer waste resources on chaos. This is the beginning of cognitive authority. Authority is not loud. It is not rushed. It is not reactive. Authority is calm. Neuroscience research consistently shows that chronic stress has a far greater negative impact on older brains than younger ones. Stress hormones interfere with memory consolidation. They disrupt neural repair. They impair emotional regulation. So the aging brain adapts. It reduces exposure to stress by altering emotional response thresholds. This is why many people after 50 feel they no longer tolerate noise drama or meaningless urgency. This is not personality change, it is neural self-protection. And that protection creates space. Space is where higher cognition lives. When the brain is not constantly reacting, it begins to integrate information more deeply. This is when wisdom emerges. Wisdom is not stored in one location. It is a network effect. It emerges when emotional reactivity decreases, when experience is integrated, when the brain can see beyond the immediate moment. Calm is the gateway to that state. This is also why many older adults report stronger intuition. Intuition is not magic. It is rapid pattern recognition built on decades of experience. But intuition only surfaces when the mind is quiet enough to hear it. A noisy brain misses subtle signals. A calm brain detects them. This is why forcing yourself to stay hyper-busy, hyper-stimulated, hyper-stressed after midlife often backfires. It works against your brain's new operating system. Think of it this way. You are not losing mental power. You are shifting power from speed to depth, from reaction to regulation, from stimulation to integration. But here is the tragedy. Because no one explains this transition, many people misinterpret calm as decline. They say, I am not as sharp, I am not as fast, I do not feel the same drive. So they panic. They add more stimulation, more stress, more urgency. They try to force the brain back into an earlier mode, and that is where damage begins. Because the midlife brain does not respond to pressure the same way. Pressure no longer motivates, it disrupts. Calm does not reduce intelligence, it unlocks it. This is why calm becomes a cognitive superpower after midlife, not because it feels pleasant, but because it aligns with how the brain now works. In the next part, we will go deeper. We will explore what actually changes in neural signaling, why emotional intensity decreases but clarity increases, and how calm directly improves memory judgment and learning after 50%. Stay with Smart Brain Senior, because understanding this shift is the difference between fighting your brain and working with it. After midlife, the structural and functional architecture of the brain subtly but profoundly reorganizes. This reorganization is neither obvious nor immediate. It begins with changes in the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, and the amygdala. The prefrontal cortex gains influence over decision-making, emotional regulation, and strategic thinking. The hippocampus continues to store and consolidate memories, but its efficiency depends increasingly on calm and uninterrupted sleep. The amygdala, which drives fear, urgency, and stress responses, becomes less reactive and less truly needed. This neural rebalancing is nature's way of prioritizing wisdom over speed. It is also the reason why calm becomes not just a mental preference, but a biological necessity. You may have noticed that after 50, certain experiences no longer trigger panic or impulsive reactions. You may pause before responding to conflict or unexpected events. This is not choice alone. It is a neurobiological advantage. Your brain is conserving energy. It is redirecting resources from unnecessary emotional output toward higher-order cognitive processes. When the mind is calm, the network of neurons responsible for pattern recognition and insight operates more effectively. Synaptic efficiency improves. Neurotransmitter balance stabilizes. Signals are processed more clearly. In practical terms, this means you make better decisions faster without stress or confusion. Calm also enhances the function of the default mode network. The default mode network is responsible for reflection, self-awareness, and complex problem solving. It is most active when the brain is not overwhelmed by external inputs or internal stress. After midlife, the ability to enter this reflective state increases naturally, but only if you allow calm and space. Those who continue to fill their lives with constant stimulat ion block this network. The result is mental fatigue, cognitive errors, and emotional instability. In contrast, embracing calm creates a feedback loop that enhances cognition. Calm reduces cortisol levels, which allows the hippocampus to consolidate memories more efficiently. It enhances the prefrontal cortex's ability to inhibit distractions. It strengthens the neural circuits involved in focus, attention, and reasoning. Recent neuroimaging studies confirm that older adults who report higher levels of calm and emotional stability show increased connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. They also show reduced hyperactivity in the amygdala. In short, their brains work smarter, not faster. This has implications for learning, decision-making, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Cognitive resilience increases. You retain memory clarity for longer. Problem-solving abilities improve. Emotional regulation becomes more effortless. Social interactions benefit. Because your brain is not hijacked by reactive emotional patterns, your calm presence allows better interpretation of others' intentions and responses. It fosters trust, authority, and influence. Now let us address a misconception. Many people assume calm equals passivity. They fear that if they slow down or avoid stress, they will lose competitiveness or ambition. This is false. Calm does not remove drive. It channels drive efficiently. It allows selective focus on tasks that matter. It improves prioritization. It reduces errors caused by impulsivity. In practical life, this translates to higher productivity, more meaningful work, and sustained cognitive function. But achieving calm after midlife is not automatic. It is enhanced by specific practices and lifestyle adaptations. These include regular physical activity, especially cardiovascular and mind-body exercises which regulate stress hormones and improve blood flow to the brain. Mindful meditation and breathing techniques which strengthen prefrontal cortex control and reduce amygdala hyperreactivity. Quality sleep, which allows memory consolidation and neural repair. Moderation in social stimulation, which prevents overwhelm and cognitive fatigue. Nutritional strategies that stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support neurotransmitter synthesis. Strategically choosing environments and activities that reduce unnecessary stress. By combining these factors, the brain naturally enters a calm, high-functioning mode. This is the stage where true cognitive superpower emerges. It is not flashy or dramatic. It is subtle but profound. Your attention becomes sharper. Your memory becomes more reliable. Your decision-making becomes more precise. Your emotional intelligence improves. In short, your brain begins to operate at a level not possible under constant stress or distraction. And here is the critical point. This transformation is self-reinforcing. The calmer you are, the better your neural circuits function. The better your neural circuits function, the calmer and more confident you feel. This loop explains why some adults over 50 seem almost untouchable in high-pressure situations. Their brains have reorganized for efficiency, clarity, and insight. They are not faster in the traditional sense. They are more effective, more strategic, more intelligent in ways that are durable and resilient. Calm also affects neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize its structure and function in response to experience. Contrary to popular belief, neuroplasticity does not end at midlife. It changes its pattern. You no longer rewire as quickly as in youth. You require more deliberate practice and focused attention. Calm provides the ideal internal environment for this deliberate rewiring. Without calm, neuroplasticity is limited. With calm, it is amplified. Memory circuits strengthen, focus networks stabilize, emotional regulation pathways become robust. And this is why cognitive decline can be slowed and even partially reversed after midlife. The brain is not static, it is adaptive, and calm is the key that unlocks its adaptive potential. You can see now why the concept of calm as a superpower is not metaphorical. It is literal, it is measurable. It has real-world impact on performance, quality, relationships, and longevity. Adults who embrace calm after midlife report lower anxiety, higher satisfaction, improved cognitive performance, and better decision-making. Even simple practices that reduce reactive stress improve executive function. This is the hidden advantage that most people over 50 do not understand. The calm brain is an efficient brain. It is a resilient brain. It is a brain designed to optimize complex cognition. And here is one more insight. Calm is contagious. Those around you feel your stability. They mirror it. Social environments benefit from your emotional regulation. Leadership becomes more natural. Influence grows without aggression. Authority emerges effortlessly. These are all signs of true cognitive power. It is subtle, it is invisible, but it shapes behavior, perception, and outcomes in profound ways. So if you are over 50 and feel less impulsive, less reactive, or less caught in chaos, understand this is not decline, it is evolution. Your brain is reorganizing for depth, insight, and mastery. It is prioritizing precision over speed. It is prioritizing wisdom over reaction. This is the real reason why calm after midlife becomes a cognitive superpower, because your brain has learned the ultimate lesson. Efficiency, clarity, and strategic calm outperform raw speed, emotional noise, and constant urgency. The next stage of this journey is to understand how to intentionally cultivate calm, how to amplify its effects, and how to integrate this superpower into daily life for measurable improvements in memory, reasoning, focus, emotional intelligence, and decision-making. As we continue to explore the transformative power of calm in the midlife brain, it's essential to understand that calm is not merely the absence of stress. Calm is an active neural state, a physiological alignment that maximizes the brain's cognitive potential. After 50, the brain's executive systems, responsible for planning, prioritization, and reasoning, start to operate under a new paradigm. They are no longer fueled solely by rapid response or impulsive energy. Instead, they thrive on measured attention, deliberate thought, and strategic evaluation. This is where calm becomes more than a mood. It becomes a cognitive tool, a functional amplifier of mental capacity. The prefrontal cortex, which governs executive functions, works in harmony with the limbic system during states of calm. Cortisol, the stress hormone that impairs memory and decision-making, is significantly reduced. Serotonin and dopamine pathways stabilize, leading to more consistent attention, motivation, and emotional regulation. When the brain experiences prolonged calm, synaptic efficiency increases. Neural pathways that would otherwise be clouded by stress are now primed for rapid, precise communication. Consider decision-making. Studies of adults over 50 show that calm individuals consistently outperform their more reactive peers in complex problem-solving. They are able to evaluate multiple variables without emotional interference, anticipate consequences more accurately, and prioritize options that deliver long-term benefits. This isn't a subtle advantage. It translates directly into professional success, financial prudence, and social influence. Memory function is another domain profoundly influenced by calm. The hippocampus, responsible for consolidating new memories, is particularly sensitive to stress. In high-stress conditions, hippocampal neurons atrophy over time, leading to forgetfulness and reduced recall. Conversely, a calm state fosters neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons, and enhances synaptic plasticity. This means that adults who cultivate calm after midlife are literally growing and strengthening the physical infrastructure of memory. Emotional intelligence, often overlooked in traditional measures of cognition, also flourishes under calm conditions. The amygdala, which triggers fear, aggression, and impulsivity, is modulated by prefrontal input during calm. Emotional reactions become measured and appropriate, rather than exaggerated or reactive. This allows for more nuanced social interactions, better conflict resolution, and enhanced empathy. Essentially, calm converts raw emotional energy into precise social intelligence, a skill that becomes increasingly valuable as we age. Physical exercise complements this cognitive architecture. Cardiovascular workouts, yoga, and Tai Chi are particularly effective because they simultaneously reduce stress hormones, improve cerebral blood flow, and stimulate neurotrophic factors that support neuronal health. When combined with calm-focused practices, these exercises create a synergy that strengthens both the body and the mind. The result is not only enhanced memory and focus, but also improved problem-solving, creativity, and emotional resilience. Sleep is another critical factor. Calm directly improves sleep quality, which in turn reinforces cognitive function. After 50, the brain's repair mechanisms, lymphatic clearance, protein folding, and synaptic pruning, are optimized during deep, uninterrupted sleep. Adults who maintain calm through meditation, breathwork, or structured downtime experience fewer sleep disruptions. This creates a positive feedback loop. Calm enhances sleep. Sleep restores the brain, and the restored brain operates more efficiently and remains calm under new stressors. Nutrition also plays a supporting role. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and phytonutrients help modulate inflammation, stabilize neurotransmitters, and protect neuronal integrity. Combined with calm, these nutrients facilitate optimal cognitive function, further reinforcing the brain's capacity to operate in high-efficiency mode. The social dimension is equally important. Calm allows older adults to navigate relationships without unnecessary conflict or emotional overreaction. It enhances active listening, empathy, and the ability to influence others constructively. Social cognition, which often diminishes with age, is preserved and even enhanced in calm states. In professional and personal settings, this translates into more effective communication, stronger relationships, and increased authority without aggression. Neuroplasticity remains a core benefit. Calm creates the ideal environment for deliberate practice, learning, and skill acquisition. In youth, neuroplasticity is rapid but often unfocused. After 50, neuroplasticity slows and requires intentional cultivation. Calm reduces neural noise, allowing the brain to strengthen existing pathways and create new connections efficiently. Learning new skills, adopting technology, or mastering complex problem-solving becomes achievable and sustainable. Moreover, calm provides resilience against cognitive decline. Stress is a major accelerant of age-related conditions, such as mild cognitive impairment and dementia. Adults who cultivate calm exhibit slower hippocampal shrinkage, better white matter integrity, and more robust connectivity between brain regions. This protective effect is cumulative. Decades of habitual calm can significantly reduce risk factors for cognitive decline, preserve memory, and maintain executive function. The practical implementation of calm is straightforward but demands consistency. Daily mindfulness practices, controlled breathing, meditation, structured breaks, and reduced overstimulation are all effective. Even short sessions, if repeated regularly, produce measurable neural changes. High-level individuals who integrate these practices report enhanced focus, sharper insights, and improved emotional stability. In essence, calm after midlife is not a luxury or optional lifestyle choice. It is a high-leverage intervention that directly enhances brain function, emotional intelligence, and life performance. It aligns with natural neurobiological adaptations, amplifies neuroplasticity, and preserves cognitive health. Those who neglect calm expose themselves to unnecessary stress, reduced efficiency, and accelerated cognitive aging. Understanding this, the next step is to apply structured strategies that integrate calm into every facet of daily life. Not through passive waiting, but through deliberate, consistent practice. By doing so, the mature brain can operate at unprecedented levels of clarity, precision, and cognitive agility, redefining what it means to be intellectually and emotionally sharp. After 50, at this stage of midlife, the role of calm in cognitive performance becomes even more profound, because the brain's adaptive systems have shifted. After 50, neural efficiency depends less on raw speed and more on precision, resilience, and strategic allocation of mental resources. Calm, when consistently cultivated, aligns the brain's energy with these requirements, producing outcomes that appear almost effortless yet are underpinned by complex neurobiological processes. One of the most significant effects of calm is on attentional control. In the midlife brain, distractions and irrelevant stimuli can easily hijack cognitive processes, leading to mistakes, forgetfulness, and delayed decision-making. Calm serves as a filter. It modulates the anterior cingulate cortex and dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, enabling focused attention and deliberate prioritization. This results in enhanced working memory, faster problem-solving, and the ability to maintain clarity under pressure. Adults who cultivate calm demonstrate superior performance in tasks requiring multitasking, abstract reasoning, and long-term planning. Stress reduction is a critical component. Cortisol, released during stress, directly interferes with synaptic plasticity and neurotransmitter balance. Over decades, chronic exposure contributes to memory impairments, decreased learning efficiency, and even structural brain changes. Calm mitigates this by lowering baseline cortisol levels, enhancing neurotrophic support, and creating a stable internal environment. This protective effect is cumulative. Years of calm practices translate into preserved gray matter, strengthened white matter tracts, and optimized neural connectivity. Moreover, calm amplifies executive functions beyond attention. The midlife brain benefits disproportionately from a state of reduced internal conflict and emotional regulation. When emotions are well modulated, the prefrontal cortex can orchestrate higher-level cognitive tasks without interference from the amygdala. This leads to improved judgment, strategic foresight, and adaptive problem-solving. Those who master calm can evaluate scenarios more accurately, anticipate outcomes, and make decisions that yield long-term benefits. Emotional resilience is another dimension. Midlife often brings complex social, familial, and professional responsibilities. Calm allows individuals to navigate these challenges with measured responses rather than reactive behavior. The ability to remain composed during conflict, disappointment, or unexpected change preserves cognitive bandwidth for critical decision-making. Emotional energy that might otherwise be spent on rumination is redirected into constructive problem-solving and creative thinking. Sleep optimization is deeply connected to calm. After 50, sleep architecture shifts and deep restorative sleep becomes more fragile. Calm practices enhance sleep quality by lowering sympathetic nervous system activity and promoting parasympathetic dominance. The brain's nightly repair mechanisms, lymphatic clearance, protein folding, and memory consolidation, operate more efficiently under calm conditions. Improved sleep, in turn, reinforces attention, memory, and emotional stability, creating a positive feedback loop. Physical activity enhances the cognitive benefits of calm. Exercises such as walking, swimming, yoga, and resistance training promote cerebral blood flow, increase neurotrophic factors, and strengthen synaptic connections. When paired with calm, these activities magnify the brain's adaptability. Cardiovascular fitness supports hippocampal function, while mindful movement practices strengthen neural networks involved in attention, coordination, and spatial reasoning. Diet and nutrition synergize with calm to preserve and enhance cognitive function. Nutrients such as omega-3 fatty acids, polyphenols, and antioxidants reduce neuroinflammation, stabilize neurotransmitters, and protect neuronal integrity. Calm amplifies the efficacy of these nutrients by creating a low-stress internal environment, allowing metabolic processes and nutrient absorption to support optimal brain health. Social intelligence is enhanced under calm conditions. Mature adults who maintain calm navigate interpersonal interactions with subtlety, influence, and empathy. Calm reduces emotional reactivity and impulsive responses, fostering stronger relationships, improved negotiation skills, and enhanced leadership presence. Social cognition, often overlooked in traditional brain performance metrics, becomes a distinct advantage, improving both personal and professional outcomes. Neuroplasticity in midlife is highly sensitive to internal states. Calm provides an optimal environment for synaptic growth, dendritic branching, and functional connectivity. Adults who cultivate calm demonstrate superior learning retention, adaptability to new skills, and problem-solving efficiency. This is particularly valuable in a society where technology, work demands, and social expectations are continually evolving. Calm ensures the brain remains flexible, responsive, and capable of mastering new challenges with minimal cognitive friction. Finally, the long-term protective benefits of calm cannot be overstated. Chronic stress accelerates cognitive aging, increases risk of neurodegenerative disorders, and reduces overall brain resilience. Adults who maintain calm experience slower hippocampal shrinkage, preserved prefrontal cortex volume, and enhanced functional connectivity. They retain not only memory and executive function, but also creativity, emotional intelligence, and social acumen. The practical takeaway is clear. Calm is an actionable, high-leverage strategy for brain preservation and enhancement. It is not passive relaxation. It is a deliberate, trainable skill that transforms the midlife brain. Daily practices such as mindfulness, meditation, breath control, and intentional downtime integrate with sleep, exercise, nutrition, and social engagement to create a comprehensive cognitive enhancement system. Those who embrace calm after 50 are effectively rewiring their brains for precision, efficiency, and resilience. This is not a marginal benefit. It is a profound transformation, a shift from reactive survival to strategic cognitive mastery. Calm becomes the invisible force behind superior attention, memory, emotional regulation, and social intelligence. It is a superpower accessible to anyone willing to cultivate it consistently and intentionally. By now, it is clear that calm is not merely a pleasant state. It is a strategic tool that shapes the midlife brain for peak performance, resilience, and longevity. After 50, the brain is no longer designed for speed or constant stimulation. Instead, it thrives on clarity, balance, and focused neural energy. Calm serves as the operating system for this evolved cognitive mode, enabling adults to extract maximum value from every mental and emotional resource. One of the most powerful aspects of calm is its role in enhancing decision-making under uncertainty. In midlife, life presents complex problems that require weighing multiple variables simultaneously: health, finances, reality, on-ships, career transitions, and legacy planning. A calm mind can parse through noise, prioritize effectively, and make high-stakes decisions without the distortions of stress or emotional overdrive. Research in cognitive neuroscience shows that adults who maintain calm demonstrate more consistent, rational, and outcome-focused decisions compared to peers who operate in reactive or anxious states. Another critical dimension is memory consolidation. Calm optimizes hippocampal activity during both wakefulness and sleep. The hippocampus, central to forming new memories and integrating experiences, is highly sensitive to stress. Cortisol surges from anxiety or tension interfere with long-term potentiation, diminishing the brain's ability to encode, store, and retrieve information. Calm mitigates this interference, ensuring that learning, skills, and experiential knowledge accumulated over decades remain accessible and actionable. Calm also serves as a catalyst for neurogenesis, particularly in regions vulnerable to midlife cognitive decline. Studies demonstrate that controlled, low-stress environments, combined with mindfulness practices, promote growth of new neurons and reinforce synaptic connections. These effects are amplified when calm is paired with deliberate cognitive stimulation, physical activity, and nutrient-rich diet. The midlife brain, previously thought to be in irreversible decline, is revealed to be highly plastic, responsive, adaptable, and capable of functional improvement even after decades of established neural patterns. Emotional intelligence reaches its peak under calm conditions. Adults over 50 who cultivate calm exhibit superior empathy, self-regulation, and social perception. These qualities are not only personally beneficial, but also create social leverage in professional and community settings. Calm reduces impulsivity, prevents overreaction, and enhances perspective-taking, allowing mature adults to navigate relationships with insight, authority, and subtle influence. This is a superpower that younger brains, often dominated by speed and sensation, rarely achieve. Calm further strengthens the brain's reward and motivation circuits. By reducing background stress and emotional noise, the midlife brain becomes more responsive to deliberate, meaningful goals rather than instant gratification. Dopaminergic pathways are stabilized, enhancing intrinsic motivation and reinforcing positive behavior. Adults experience a renewed sense of purpose, aligned with personal values and long-term aspirations, which drives consistent engagement with cognitively enriching activities, creative projects, and lifelong learning. The protective effect of calm against age-related cognitive decline is substantial. Chronic stress accelerates neuronal loss, shrinks critical prefrontal and hippocampal regions, and impairs connectivity. Calm offsets these trends by maintaining neurochemical balance, supporting myelin integrity, and preserving synaptic plasticity. Over years, this results in sustained executive function, sharper focus, improved memory recall, and enhanced problem-solving capacity. Adults who embrace calm effectively buy time for their brains, slowing the functional aging process and maintaining high-level cognition well into their 70s and beyond. Integration of calm into daily life requires intentional practices. Mindfulness meditation, paced breathing, yoga, tai chi, and reflective journaling are all proven methods. The key is consistency. Even brief, daily sessions accumulate profound neurological benefits over weeks, months, and years. Importantly, these practices also complement physical exercise, healthy nutrition, and sufficient restorative sleep, creating a holistic brain optimization ecosystem. Calm also transforms stress perception. Midlife challenges, whether financial pressures, family responsibilities, or health concerns, are inevitable. Calm does not eliminate these challenges, it changes brain's interpretation of them. The prefrontal cortex maintains regulatory control over the amygdala, ensuring that stressors trigger adaptive, solution-focused responses rather than panic, avoidance, or impulsive action. This cognitive reframing preserves mental energy, strengthens resilience, and enhances problem-solving efficiency. Creativity and insight flourish under calm. Studies show that focused, low-stress states facilitate associative thinking, pattern recognition, and deep reflective thought. For adults over 50, this translates into better strategic thinking, novel problem-solving, and innovative approaches to personal and professional challenges. Calm creates mental space for reflection, allowing ideas to connect across domains, generating solutions that are both practical and visionary. Importantly, calm enhances social cognition. Adults who maintain calm can better interpret verbal and nonverbal cues, manage complex negotiations, and maintain composure in emotionally charged situations. This skill amplifies influence, strengthens relationships, and improves leadership effectiveness. The midlife brain, when calm, converts emotional intelligence into tangible advantages that affect every sphere of life, from family dynamics to career impact to community engagement. As the brain ages, sensory processing changes. Calm provides a stable internal baseline that allows more accurate interpretation of sensory information. Auditory, visual, and tactile inputs are processed with clarity rather than distortion. This leads to better decision-making, reduced errors, and enhanced situational awareness. The mature brain is not simply slower, it is more selective, precise, and strategic, qualities that calm magnifies. Finally, embracing calm is a conscious investment in brain longevity. It is an active, disciplined approach that creates an environment for growth, adaptability, and resilience. Midlife adults who cultivate calm maintain not just cognitive function but also emotional stability, social effectiveness, and purposeful engagement with life. Calm transforms ordinary aging into an empowered, high-functioning stage where intellect, wisdom, and clarity reach their peak potential. For viewers ready to take control of their cognitive future, the steps are actionable and accessible. Begin with a daily 10-minute mindfulness session. Pair it with moderate physical exercise, ensure restorative sleep, engage in meaningful social interaction, and focus on nutrient-rich meals that support brain health. With consistent practice, calm ceases to be a passive state and becomes a superpower that enhances memory, focus, decision-making, creativity, and emotional intelligence. In conclusion, calm after midlife is not optional. It is a defining factor in cognitive performance, resilience, and quality of life. Those who cultivate calm are not just surviving, they are thriving. They possess the strategic advantage of a brain that operates with precision, clarity, and adaptability. This is the ultimate cognitive superpower, accessible to anyone willing to harness it intentionally. If you want to continue optimizing your brain after 50, subscribe to Smart Brain Senior and join our community of adults mastering their cognitive superpowers, one day at a time.